Hey everyone, welcome back. Crazy About the SWA Episode 4. I'm your host, Crazy Ralf, and here today I have a very special guest. I am joined by Nomad.
Hello, hello, hello. Very nice to be here. Very excited.
Let's make some magic. Let's have some fun.
Oh, we definitely will have some.
I asked Tomato when he came on. I'm going to ask this of all my guests. What was it that drew you to the SBA or SWA, excuse me? What was it that drew you into simulation wrestling?
Uh, I mean, my adventure with simulation wrestling started a couple of years before SWA actually. I had this friend in the middle school that was very much into wrestling, and his friend started like this simulation wrestling on a Facebook group. So
Mm-hmm.
he would just basically write. He would write shows, like entire shows, and people would write the promos, and based on their activity, they would either get a push or the wrestlers would fail more often if they weren't too active. And so we actually started with that. Both me and Tomato. I actually brought him into this, and I like to think, I don't know if that's actually what happened, but I like to think that's what happened. I never actually asked him. But I feel like Tomato got into SBA. Like, I don't know how he found SBA, but I think he got into SBA thanks to that first simulation, like this simulation wrestling that I brought him into. And so ultimately, he brought me into both SBA and SWA. If I remember correctly, it was like during the day he just suddenly wrote to me that, "Hey Nomad, there's simulation wrestling. Mo is creating it on SBA. Quick, create your wrestler. Let's come on, let's make Ace. Let's make Diego Mercer. Let's have some fun." And I was just on board automatically.
Well, yeah, no. So it sounds like you kind of understood what was going on with the SWA, like before the SWA was even a twinkle in Mo's eye. So just
Yeah, I think I wrote one of my first posts like in the SWA network was actually how to write promos, if I recall correctly,
that rings
which
a bell.
is
I was going through the network's pieces and looking through a lot of your promos and a lot of your network pieces, and I think it was like the how to cut a promo, like 101 promos for dummies post.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, so basically what I wrote there was my experience with the area earlier
Mm-hmm.
simulation league
Mm-hmm.
I was in. But you know, you don't have to cut promos as hard as you had to do it there, because here you have PT. It's actually simulated in
Right.
2K, so it's a bit different. But I still try to make as good promos as I can.
And we will talking about promos. We'll get into some of your promos later. But I wanted to do a quick breakdown of episode 36 because I know, Nomad, you've started up your own kind of like breakdown series, right? The Nomad,
Yeah,
the
the Nomad
Mad Nomad
highlights. Yeah,
highlights, right? So I thought we could
yeah.
do a little bit of a quick little live breakdown with you.
Sure, I'm down. I'm down. I won't be telling you the ratings.
Oh, well,
That's I'm gonna say that right now
proprietary
because I don't
information.
want to. Yeah, don't want to spoil it for my readers.
Fair enough. I can respect that.
But yeah, yeah, I can break down some matches with you today.
So, yeah, so episode 36, come and gone. We've actually just announced episode 37. We can talk about that later as well. But in episode 36, we had 7 matches, 2 rookie triple threats again. And the first one, we saw Zayn Ryder, Sean Baptiste, and Rock Flag and Eagle, RFE, battle it out. And Zayn kind of controlled that whole match. What do you think? What do you think about that first triple threat match?
Honestly, I don't think there was a single wrestler that controlled the entire match. I mean, sure, Zayn had like a lot of great moments. Like he definitely dish out some good punishment. But honestly, I feel like both Sean Baptiste and Rock Flag and Eagle both had their moments as well. I really enjoyed the very beginning of the match when Sean Baptiste just went for it and
Mm-hmm.
just took down Zayn, took down Rock Flag and
Yeah,
Eagle, and
started
just
going
started dishing
nuts.
out some punishment.
I'll
Yeah,
say I don't know what he's gonna call it, the high flying eagle elbow or like the people's elbow or something like that. But the huge top rope elbow drop from Rock Flag and Eagle
yeah,
was a pretty standout moment for that wrestler. So
yeah. It was a great move. I also really enjoyed like the overall this old school wrestling he brought into the
yeah, no,
SWA.
we haven't really seen much of that pre attitude era kind of style wrestling that from the SWA that we have seen from Rock
Yeah,
Flag and Eagle.
yeah, and it's really interesting to see it like in comparison to high flying moves of Sean
Yeah,
Baptiste, for
yeah,
example.
or some of
Yeah,
the kind of like big offense from Zayn Ryder.
yeah. It's a completely different animal, but it fits oddly well
I would
into.
agree that it does fit oddly well for for Rock Flag and Eagle. The best one of the most interesting names to say in the SWA. But Zayn,
Yeah, I mean it is a bit of a tongue twister. Like like you don't when you say somebody's name, you expect it to be like easy on the tongue,
right?
right? And and here you just have rock, flag, and eagle. Like you have to have a break every time
Yes,
you
there's
say his
yes
name.
you have to enunciate. But I guess
Yeah,
going forward, he's probably going to be RFE, or he's probably going to be just like Eagle or Rock or something like that. Who knows? The nicknames will surely come forth for Rock Flag and Eagle, just because of his name.
I hope
But
so.
Zayn Ryder took home the first match. He put away Rock Flag and Eagle for the win. Um, I think this trio has interesting things that are going to happen. It was just announced, like we said in episode 37. I think Zayn Ryder is going to take on Raccoon for a chance or in a match in episode 37. So we can look at that in a little bit.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
Second match, singles one fall match between Brian Strong and Starman.
Yeah, honestly, when this one was announced, I I immediately thought that Brian would win this one. Like Starman hasn't been doing so good lately.
Possibly still
Uh
recovering from one of his many concussions. Wasn't quite all there.
yeah, one of his many concussions. But yeah, and Brian Strong in the episode 35 showed us that he actually came to play in season 3. Like he didn't come to play, he came to
Right.
fight in season
Exactly.
3.
I was
Yeah.
expecting kind of because we had seen Brian Strong a few times before that, and he was good, but he wasn't like stand out. Like, oh man, this guy's gonna roll to a win here.
Yeah,
And
he,
I
he
was
he really flew like he really flew under my radar. I was absent for like a lot of season 2. But yeah, I honestly thought he was one of the new wrestlers at the beginning of episode 35. I checked that later and realized my mistake. But yeah, I he completely flew under my radar. But now I will definitely be watching
for Brian Strong.
what he has to
But yeah,
offer.
so he
Yeah.
took down Rajwarjwana in episode 35, who I thought was going to win that match. I thought Raj was going all the way because Raj had been showing up in 2 night stand with a couple good matches, and Brian just crushed him. Same thing here. Brian came out. Brian Strong is very strong. He came out and bell to bell just worked over Starman. Starman couldn't get anything going, and this one was an easy one for Brian Strong. So this is a big push for season 3 dominance from Brian Strong. Obviously, he had the briefcase at one point. I think he won one of the rumbles, or he won a
Yeah,
briefcase
yeah.
at
I
one
think
point
that's
earlier, but he dropped it to He dropped it to like Bozeman or one of the wrestlers way back when.
Wait, who was
I think it was Bozeman. I think it was Yasuke Bozeman. Or it was...
I think it might have been Bozeman.
It was either Bozeman or Beast. I don't think it was Beast, though.
Yeah, no, it's awkward because I'm a manager of a wrestler who is in a tag team with Bozeman.
Yes.
But yeah, and I don't know, honestly. I don't remember.
It was, I think it was season 1, because Brian Strong has been around since like the middle and early to the late end of season 1. So I guess big push from Brian Strong in season 3. We're going to be seeing more of him coming up to the first pay-per-view, I imagine. Next match, another rookie triple threat match. Angel Sabin, A-Train Howard, and Roughneck Anthony Hagar. This one was a little bit lopsided, I think. This one was an interesting match.
Yeah, I really enjoyed Angel Sabin. Like I don't know why, just the way he fought just kind of spoke to me. But like the biggest vibe of the arena definitely belonged to the A-Train.
Oh yeah, no,
Howard.
he was. He
was just vibing.
He had excellent energy coming down the ramp into the stadium, and I think that kind of got the crowd on his side immediately, because the other two wrestlers, Angel Sabin's kind of an edgelord. It feels like he's the edgy version of Sangres, like right? Because Sangres kind of has that A-Train Howard vibe where he's just vibing and always working the crowd and always having a good time, and it seems like Angel is the machine version of Sangres, I think. So
that's actually a very good comparison. Yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah, he is like the emo twin.
Emo twin to Sangres's kind of fun match. And then the last wrestler in there, Anthony Hagar, who is just this big guy from North Dakota who hasn't really wrestled before.
Yeah. Actually, you know who actually he reminded me of? He reminded me of God, what was his name? From Team Fortress 2? The Australian guy?
The sniper.
No, that's not the sniper. Wait.
I think the sniper was Australian.
Yeah, he was, but there was also like it wasn't a playable character. It was like I'll find it and mention it later. But yeah, he reminded me very much of that one guy.
Anyway, but yeah, no. So during the match, it felt weird because Anthony Hagar hit so many crazy huge moves, but then couldn't put it together, dragged his feet on a pin or anything like that. And Angel Sabin hit all sorts of top rope high flying antics, and then Howard just kind of snuck around the outside of the match. Like he would get in there quick, get bopped, get sent to the outside of the ring, and then he'd hop back in and then take advantage of a situation that was developing and then try for a sneaky pin. And that actually won him the match, because towards the end there, Hagar absolutely tried to destroy Howard on the outside of the ring with the superplex to the outside of the ring there. And that everyone kind of wrote off Howard, and then all of
but that's the thing. Like ever since the season 3 started, we've seen more and more opportunistic wins.
Yeah, Raccoon in episode 35 was a very opportunistic win.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think the Iranian Juggernaut wasn't too opportunistic. I mean, he's
huge.
The
Iranian Juggernaut he was
just
not
a mountain.
At all. He's just a juggernaut.
Right. But there's definitely a kind of precedent for sneaky, opportunistic, coming in at the last second for a pin type wrestlers in season 3, at least in the freshman class, it seems.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, so
so I actually found the guy I was referring to. Haggard really reminds me of Saxton Hale. I don't know if
that I haven't played TF2 for like 10 years, and that name brings me back.
Yeah.
that was a good time in my life. Simpler times.
Yeah. Much simpler times
God. Indeed. But so Howard took home the second rookie triple threat match, and he's looking to face off against Zayn Ryder in episode 37. So we'll see what comes from that.
I'm honestly excited for that
it
fight.
should be a lot of fun because their styles cannot be any different, right?
Yeah.
So that one's on the short list for my exciting matches of episode 37. Next match, we had a singles one fall, Chimaka Ndigwe versus The Machine, of all people. Angel Sabin of the Big Boys, The Machine. Well fought match. I thought Ndigwe really showed out. He had a lot of lifting strength. There's not a lot of people who have really been able to get The Machine off his feet, and we saw it multiple times from Ndigwe, so he's obviously been in the gym.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like many people underestimate the Sage, but he actually is a very good fighter. Like, we've seen some very good offense from him throughout like the entire time he's been in the SWA. So his loss to the Machine was actually a big surprise to me. I honestly thought he had this one in the bag, but apparently Machine decided this one was a match that he was going to
The
win.
Machine takedown is a brutal move. It might be one of the most brutal in the SWA because time and time again, the Machine takedown Machine will take an absolute pounding. Absolutely, like, visually, and nobody will think he's winning the match, and then he'll stand up and clock you across the jaw, and then you're done, and then he just sits on you.
Yeah, you're done. You know, it gives me that vibe. Like, do you know in some video games, like, you have that meter, the punishment meter you have to fill up before you can dish out the ultimate meter. Move? Yeah, like, I feel like that's actually what's going on inside the Machine.
He's building
when he's in the ring.
Meter. Hadouken.
Yeah, he's literally building his ultimate. Yeah.
he's gonna Shoryuken the opponents, and that's basically, I guess, what he does. He punches them.
Yeah, that's all he does, but that's all he has to do.
It's true. If it's one thing I think Machine could use, I think he could use a little bit of a redesign on his attire. The all black with the, like, kind of like pseudo cape that he comes wearing out, or whatever it is.
Yeah, I remember there have been some talking at the beginning that the Machine would gain more and more, like, mechanic parts uncovered as he went along in the SWA, but I guess that never really took off, did it?
Well, it's possible that he hasn't been damaged enough to expose the metal parts under him.
I mean, true, that might be the case. Maybe we'll see it in the future.
True. But Machine took this one. This one was all Chimaka Ndigwe until he landed the Machine takedown, and then that was it. And I feel bad for Chimaka because he's had a little bit of a nice push coming and working ever since he took down Art Vandelay behind backstage in the SWA loading area. He's had a nice little push, but this kind of puts a little bit of a road bump in it, I think, and we'll see where he tries to rebound in season 3, and then obviously Machine once again making a pseudo push towards excellence in season 3.
Yeah.
Next match we had tag team action. Fallen Gods, new tag team between Savea and Goldenberg, between the Barefoot Buddies. This was their first assignment. Was this their rookie match? I think it was. This was their first match as a tag team.
I think it was, and they honestly came out looking kind of strong. They definitely have the potential, but I mean, the Barefoot Buddies are just a very good tag team.
The tag division, like, it might be, I don't think it can be understated that the tag division in the SWA is possibly the more hotly contested. It's a buzzsaw. There are so many killer teams in the tag division where it's just like every single tag team, besides maybe the ones that were just kind of like impromptu. Love Machine kind of sticks out as maybe one that wasn't quite up to par, but all of the other ones, Dirty Deeds, Unhinged, the Quinn Bros, Deadfire, New Era, all of the tag teams, Barefoot Buddies, are excellent. And trying to break into that is very difficult. And I think we saw a glimmer of hope from Fallen Gods, but they just don't have it quite yet. They don't have the teamwork. They don't have the chemistry yet. So I think we'll see bigger and better things out of Fallen Gods later. But they dropped this one to the Barefoot Buddies, who really kind of run roughshod over them. A lot of high flying moves.
I must say, I think the biggest weakness of the Fallen Gods will be that they're not very fast. Like, all the other tag teams have more or less pretty agile wrestlers, or just wrestlers that
or there's a variation
fast
of wrestling kind of style.
Yeah, or just variation. And the Fallen Gods, they're both big, right? Like Savea, the Island God, like he's really big, as well as Goldenberg. And like tagging in your partner can be difficult if you don't have like those that speed necessary.
And the wherewithal to tag them in, because we saw excellent tag team execution from the Barefoot Buddies. They were hopping in and out of the ring, keeping the fresh man in, and then I think for a long time Goldenberg just got stuck in the ring and couldn't get out, couldn't get to his tag partner in Savea, and then that was kind of it, I feel.
Yeah, and finally Sangres got him with that spinning move.
Yes.
God, it looks so good when he does that.
This and the Barefoot Buddies are just so fun to watch. It's chill. But we'll be looking forward. We'll be looking forward to Fallen Gods in the future of season 3 in the SWA. Last match.
Well, second to last, I think. Yeah, we talked about
the Fallen Gods. No, Path to Glory.
Yeah.
Path to Glory. Marsh versus Puma. Another one. Kind of bell to bell, dominated by Puma. We didn't see too much from Marsh here, who just kind of, I guess, showed up and got rolled over on.
Yeah, we really have seen a lot of domination in that episode.
It's true. There was probably 2.5 matches, because the first rookie triple threat, Zayn Ryder, didn't necessarily control the match, but definitely kind of put on a little bit more of an offensive show than anyone else involved in the match. But Marsh versus Puma was all Puma. Marsh might have...
Yeah, no.
Marsh, obviously...
Marsh really surprised me in a negative way. Like, I was hoping for a good match. Like, see, I think the best... Wasn't it your rating of the first season that the best match was Marsh versus Painwrecker?
I had Marsh in one of the matches, but it wasn't Marsh versus Painwrecker as the best. It was Painwrecker versus Draven was the best match.
Oh yeah. Painwrecker versus Draven. Yeah, but Marsh versus Painwrecker, I think, was also up there.
No, Marsh has had some good matches. He's showed us what he can do.
He's a really good wrestler. Yeah.
But on this one, he just didn't show up. Didn't come to play. And
I'm wondering if there's something going on like behind the scenes, or I just seriously don't know what happened.
Yeah, no. I guess we'll just have to wait for any word from Marsh's camp, if he's injured or if he's just kind of maybe taking a back seat in season 3 or what have you. But this was all Puma. Puma just from about halfway through the match, I don't think Marsh got off any offense. It was Puma hit a.
If he did, it was
like barely... it was like a cross chop or something like that. It wasn't anything big, and Puma just continued to lay on the pressure, and it went from a one count to a 3 count real quick for Marsh. Unfortunately,
Puma is a very dangerous opponent.
And Puma's excellent. A lot of people, there's a lot of animosity towards Puma, I think, in the SWA, for good reason. He kind of screwed over his tag partner Cervantes.
I mean, he is a straight up heel.
Oh, 100%. He's teamed up with some of the, he's teamed up with like Casey Starr, and he's teamed up with some of the worst the worst of us in the SWA. The only one we haven't seen him with is Dirty Deeds. And Dirty Deeds are heels, but they're not like the true heels. They're not evil, right? They kind of exist in this weird secondary heel territory where they're evil and they have evil intentions, but they don't necessarily wrestle in an evil way. Besides, perhaps,
they're not like sadistic.
Right?
They're just
sneaky. They're cheats.
Yeah. So actually, kind of like Ace. Now I'm thinking about
Right?
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, he had a turn for better right now, but yeah, Ace is also a very like cheeky and sneaky wrestler.
Right. And then final match of the night was a singles one fall for the SWA World Championship belt. Painwrecker's first defense since 2 Nights Stand versus Luke Thompson, who I think holds the record now for most title opportunities. Someone in the SWA loves Luke Thompson.
Yeah,
he keeps getting billed, and he keeps like having all these weird, interesting things happen to him during his matches.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, he is an entertaining wrestler. Like, even though he doesn't seem very active outside of the matches he's assigned to, he did and he keeps giving us good shows.
Yeah, it's his MMA background. It's definitely unique in the SWA. We haven't seen too many like true blue. This is a guy who's just done MMA and now he's a wrestler.
Yeah.
But the whole shtick with him coming out as Yates for the Rumble, and then he was slowly revealed that it was Luke Thompson. That was interesting, but in this match versus Painwrecker, I think Luke Thompson's 4th chance at the belt. I don't know what he was thinking. He went for the low blow right in front of the ref, and what do you know?
Yeah, I mean, if he did that at the beginning of the match, I would say that he just doesn't care for the title, but he did it like after a couple of minutes.
Maybe he was...
So it's really hard to say what his intention was.
Yeah, maybe he was just... He wasn't... Painwrecker is obviously one of the best to do it in the SWA right now. Holding the world championship belt, he's number 1 in the world. I think Luke Thompson was scared of that and was willing to use any means necessary if it started looking bad. And it kind of, I don't think it was looking bad for Thompson, but Painwrecker hit some pretty nice stuff on him early in that match. And I think it just got to him, just like, I need any edge I can get, and went for the family jewels and got caught.
And got caught. Yeah. I actually think Luke was doing quite all right.
Yeah, I don't think he was
for the majority.
I don't think he was doing bad at all. But in his head, he must have been worried sick, and yeah, it went for the low blow, and that was that. That was a real shame, because
and the rest is
exactly, because that's a championship belt match, right? That's one you want to go on and be a good match. But Luke Thompson...
Yeah, not only was that a championship match, but it was also a championship match on a normal episode. Like, it wasn't a pay-per-view. So you just got a chance to gain the belt, like, just like that, and he wasted it.
And he wasted... It was a good show, but you know, when the main event goes 3 minutes because one of the wrestlers gets DQ'd, that's no fun for the fans either, you know? People who showed up and paid.
Yeah, it's really not.
So
maybe that was his
perhaps
intention. Maybe he just got sick of the SWA universe.
Who knows? Maybe we'll see more of Luke Thompson, maybe we won't. Maybe the management will be like, all right, you wasting our valuable resources, making us look bad. You're out. We'll see what happens on Luke Thompson's front. But Painwrecker, obviously, with the defense, doesn't matter how you get it, win's a win. Gonna hold on to his belt a little bit longer, probably till the pay-per-view, and we'll see who gets a shot at it coming up here in the next couple episodes. Actually, now that I mentioned that, I think on episode 37, it's Tomio Yamaguchi versus someone else for
Versus Warren
versus
Wyndham,
Warren
actually.
Wyndham for a chance at the belt
Yeah, at
at
Countdown.
Countdown.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that one turns up, because I don't think Wyndham and Yamaguchi have faced off against each other too much since the inaugural tournament. So I'm interested to see how that match has evolved in the 3 seasons here since that first encounter.
Yeah, it's actually also interesting to see because Warren Wyndham was our first SWA World
It's true,
Champion.
and Tomio
So
Yamaguchi was our
yeah,
longest world champion, holding it for almost the entirety of season 2.
yeah. So this is gonna be a clash of titans if Warren Wyndham earns that shot.
It's true.
Yeah.
All right, and well, that was the breakdown for episode 36, season 3, and we're looking forward to episode 37. But I want to talk about, because we just did a breakdown, but I want to talk about your breakdowns. I want to talk about Nomad Breakdowns.
Yeah, yeah. I just kind of sat one day, I just started looking back at all the promos I've made because I was looking, for inspiration for
Right.
another one, and I just remember, yeah, I just noticed that one of my first threads on SWA Network was a breakdown of matches from the inaugural tournament,
I remember that one. That was a
and
good one. I liked it.
yeah, I also I also really enjoyed writing it, and that's actually what brought me to create, Nomad Breakdowns. Actually, the name was Tomato's
It
idea.
was Tomato's idea.
I Yeah, I honestly was struggling with how to name it. I had a couple of ideas, but I didn't really like any of them. And then I just wrote to Tomato and asked, "Hey, do you have any idea how can I call this? Because I'm just, I'm drowning here." And he was just like, "How about Nomad Breakdowns?" And I was just instantly like, "Yes, I'm taking this. This is how I'm gonna name it."
Perfect. Well, we've seen your first breakdown, obviously. And it's top tier content, in my opinion. It was a really, really good breakdown.
Well, thanks.
When can we? Obviously, we've just kind of did a quick one here. When's the next one coming out? What are you gonna do? Episode 36, or are you gonna wait maybe for a pay-per-view? What's the plan here?
I'm definitely going to do episode 36 as well as episode 37 when it comes out. I I plan it on releasing like before the
Okay.
weekend, but I'm honestly not sure if I'll manage, to find enough time to write everything during those couple of days. So it might come on Sunday, just like the breakdown of episode
Well,
35.
it seems like because it's a written medium, right? You can take your time a little bit more. It doesn't have to be as punctual with the production. You could probably sit on it a little bit longer and get some more kind of insight into those matches, perhaps.
Yeah, that is absolutely true. Like when I was writing the breakdown for episode 35, I was just, sitting. One screen had the stream going, the other screen had the document going. I was just looking on the stream and writing, looking on the stream and writing, and it's a very comfortable process, if I'm being honest.
So you're just kind of taking notes while you're watching.
Yeah, and I'm definitely gonna start like taking notes when I'm first time watching episodes, because yeah, that just takes a lot of work off my back
Right.
later on. Yeah.
And obviously on your breakdowns, you have a star system. You said earlier you weren't going to reveal the stars for this match or for episode 36. Outside of
I'm gonna leave the listeners wanting
you're going to
more.
leave the listeners wanting more. That's fine, but I want to ask: did you have any favorite matches? What was like one that stuck out to you?
Honestly, the first rookie showcase, Zayn Ryder versus John Baptiste versus Rock Flag and Eagle. out of all those matches, I enjoyed this one the most. Mostly thanks to amazing offense by both Jean-Baptiste and Rock Flag and Eagle, but also thanks to Zayn Ryder, who gave us a lot of really fun moves, a bit a different style. Like I really enjoy his attire as well. I didn't mention that earlier,
It,
but I really like enjoy how he looks. I really like that. It's
yeah,
unique. It's
Zane
different.
Zane has a really cool style in the SWA right now.
Yeah. So yeah, out of all the matches, I think this one was the one that landed with me the
Landed with you the
most.
most. All right. Have you thought about doing breakdowns of previous seasons matches, like a kind of like look into the past, blast from the past, or maybe you're interested in breaking down singles matches?
Yeah, I actually mentioned that in when I announced the Nomad highlights are being created, that I would probably go back to revisit some of the more
The
famous
marquee
matches,
matches,
but yeah, the more key matches or like
right?
storylines as well. Yeah, but yeah, recently I have less and less time, so I'm gonna try and focus on just covering the current
Mm-hmm.
episodes, and maybe when I find some more time, I will do a breakdown of like past fights.
Perfect. If I had a request, I would like to see a breakdown between the Wyndham and Sangres saga, kind of all their matches and meetings, and all their feuding because I know they had some they've had some words in the past. So I'd love to see kind of the breakdown of two of the elder statesmen of the SWA.
Oh yeah, this one would definitely be a fun one to break down, especially since there was a lot of vocal back and forth between those two as
Yes.
well.
Um, and going back to those star ratings, what kind of goes into those? Is that more just kind of like personal opinion, or do you have a system? But what goes into those
Uh,
ratings?
I mean, I kind of just give those ratings based on the overall feel. So like which match was the most
Mm-hmm.
entertaining, right? I'm taking the consideration to consideration the pacing, action, story, and commentary as well. I didn't mention commentary in the first breakdown, but I will mention commentary in the
Okay.
next one. So our commentary team will have some feedback.
Ooh, juicy.
Yeah. I'm not saying it's
Oh,
negative feedback. It might be
it could be
positive
positive.
feedback. Who
Who
knows? Who
knows?
knows? But yeah, I will definitely start taking commentary into consideration into ratings as well because it's a big part of the SWA. Especially since the majority, I feel like the majority of fans are watching like the actual like they're not in the arena, but they're watching from
Right.
home. They're listening to the
Mm-hmm.
commentary. So yeah, I feel like that's a very vital part of the
And
show.
if I'm honest, I think our commentary crew is one of the best in the biz right now. Mo and
Oh yeah, no,
Doc are
definitely.
are knocking it out of the park on a nightly basis, on an episodely basis. So a lot of props to them for what they do and how much they contribute to the league, obviously. And you
Yeah,
said you
I
said
really enjoy the
yes,
commentary.
no, they're excellent. They cannot receive enough props, I don't think.
Yeah,
Now
that is
you
true.
said in that last answer that it was kind of the overall feel of a match that kind of dictated the most um, what you kind of assigned the most stars to. There was a lot of 5 stars in episode 35.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I might have been a bit biased on that
Right.
one since it was something I've noticed today when I was thinking about it. I took into consideration the entertainment I got from chat as well because
Oh.
there has been a lot of like talking going on in chat, a lot of
Mm-hmm.
jokes, and it just made those moments that happened like the surprise appearance by Bobby Plaster's stunt double,
The
for example.
plasters.
Yeah, the plaster
Yes.
blasters. They the chat made that feeling of the surprise like last through most of the match.
So it was the crowd pop. It was the crowd interaction from episode 35.
The crowd also made like a lot of work. So I'm gonna actually try to take that out of the equation when rating next shows, because like this one was definitely a bit biased.
The crowd swayed the vote. But if that's anything, that's a ringing endorsement to watch him live. I know not everyone has the opportunity to do so, time zones and everything. I know it's quite late at night for a lot of folks, and especially for the international folks outside of the US, it's definitely probably like in the middle of the day during like a lunch break or something. So that's the ring.
Or in the middle of the night.
Or whatever, at some ungodly hour at night. But it's a ringing endorsement to watch the shows.
Yeah, I mean, out of all episodes I've seen, and I've seen the majority of SWA episodes, I've enjoyed the ones I watched live the most. Definitely.
That's true. Live shows are the way to go. You heard it here first on Crazy About the SWA. Tune in live to the SWA broadcast. You'll have a lot more fun. We've seen a lot of, like I said, we saw a lot of 5 stars. Are we going to see any 1 stars? Are you really going to take a match to task?
You know what? There actually was a 1 star before the season 3 started. And it was actually New Era versus Dirty Deeds. It also might be biased because the Ace took the beating that match. Yeah, but like overall, that match wasn't very entertaining. It was just like pure domination by Dirty Deeds. I don't even think Boseman got
in the match or anything like that, or got out of the match.
I mean, no, he was fighting DDT. But I don't think he got in any good offense as well. Yeah, so it was just a pure domination by Dirty Deeds, and I don't know. I mean, I guess maybe it was a 2 star, but it was like very fast and not a lot going on.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot of cool stuff to like be wowed by. It was really just kind of a beatdown on one side. Dirty Deeds took Boseman to the outside of the ring and beat him up on the announcer table, and then Tomio took Ace to work in the ring, and that was it, unfortunately.
Yeah. So 1 stars are definitely possible. I can already tell you, I don't think there will be a 1 star in episode 36.
All right. Well, let's talk about... Let's shift away from Nomad, because obviously you've got your article to write for your viewers, for your readers. Let's talk about the new rookies, and in particular, Void, a new rookie.
Oh God. Yeah, that
bad guy, possibly even more unique of an appearance than Zayn Ryder.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely is something else. I might like, I'm his manager, so I'm supposed to speak good about him.
So where did you even find him? Like, how where did he come from?
I honestly have no idea where he came from. Like just one day the brass told me that I have to take him on, so I just it's my job, so I just took him on. Like I became his manager. Apparently he really wanted to have the same manager as the Ace for some reason.
Interesting tidbit.
But he really doesn't talk to me much. Like, I'm his manager, but I don't do much managing. Most of the stuff he needs, he just somehow he gets. Like, for example, his attire. I've actually never seen him without it. He showed up to SWA with the attire. No idea.
Interesting.
No idea where he got it.
And rumors behind stage is that he has stinky breath as well. Or he just smells in general. Maybe he hasn't taken a shower in a while.
You know what? There is a certain weird smell about him. Like, definitely after he's in a room, he leaves behind like a stench. But to be fair, like it's not really a bad smell. It's just a
It's a
weird
weird
smell. Like
smell.
yeah, it's actually quite uncomfortable after a while. So I honestly don't know what's causing the smell, but I did see some, I don't know, like weird green, I guess, mist leaving his
Huh.
mouth. He actually, yeah, it was actually when he read the tweet that the Ace posted recently. He just got furious and almost started shouting. But the only thing that left his mouth was that weird green mist. And I think that's what might be causing the smell. I have no idea what that is, and I don't really know if I want to know.
So you mentioned Ace has been kind of vocally against Void, even though they both share a management and you. Is what's the story there? What's going on in Ace's head? Is he just jealous that there's a stablemate, or is it more? Is there something more there?
I mean, the Ace was the target like of a week-long harassment. You know those weird cryptic letters, the weird
Oh yeah,
message
that's
he
true.
he received.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, and yeah, as it turned out, they all came from Void, who appeared on the SWA shortly after. And right now, he has the same manager as the Ace, so it's honestly not. I don't think it's weird that the Ace is not comfortable with the situation, that he's angry at Void. Uh, but yeah, like I said, I've seen Void angry at the Ace recently, so I'm trying to calm him down. But yeah, I'm kind of worried, if I'm being honest.
especially because Void is pretty big. He's the tallest wrestler in the SWA currently. Um, so being a manager to that must be frightening, right?
Yeah, like ever since he just dished out that punishment during the episode
Mm-hmm.
35, I feel like everybody just wants to take him
He's got a
down.
target on his back.
Like yeah, exactly. Like, he's one of the tallest guys. No, he is the tallest guy in the SWA right now, if I recall
He
correctly.
is the
And
tallest.
yeah, and also he doesn't seem to be afraid of a fight. So I feel like if anybody wants to take him on, I guess all they have to do is just ask.
I'm sure I'm sure they'd be pleased to do so and encounter his stinky breath maybe. Um, so is there, obviously we're kind of talking about Void's singles action. He had the triple threat. We haven't seen him any one-on-one matches yet, but is there has he made any indications that there's a tag future for him, or is he going to just kind of, or is he an enigma? Is he going to,
I mean,
what's he going to do?
again, I'm his manager, so I'm supposed to talk good about him, but I honestly don't see anybody wanting to work with him in the first place.
Hmm. Maybe
Uh,
Ermac,
like,
if they form a tag team or
yeah,
something.
yeah, yeah. Like maybe some of the more creepy talent we have on the SWA roster, but yeah. Right now he's preoccupied with finding that weird disturbance he keeps talking about. The one.
The one
Uh,
from his promos.
yeah, yeah, exactly. The one that the voices or whatever that he calls them ordered him to find. So I don't think we're gonna see any tag action from here in the near future, but who knows? I honestly don't know what to expect from him.
Perhaps a vendetta against Raccoon is maybe what we could expect. Obviously, Raccoon kind of snuck in last second to pin Tim Bob. It could be argued that he kind of waited around for Void's offense, scoped him out behind the scenes, and just said, "This guy is gonna do my damage for me, and then I'll sneak in and get the win." Is
Yeah,
Raccoon in trouble? Are we gonna are we gonna see Void take down Raccoon?
honestly, I would just advise everybody to be careful around this guy. I feel like he could just pop off at any moment for whatever reason. Like But yeah, definitely. I think what you're saying about the strategy Recom took. Yeah, I think that's 100% what happened, and I didn't see Void being much angry about it, but I'm sure he will be willing to fight Recom again just to prove that this was a one-time thing and only because it was a triple threat.
Right. Because it's triple. We saw it kind of in some of the other triple threats, someone really pop off with the offense, and then someone snuck in last second to get a win on someone else. So I guess we'll see what the future of Void holds. But let's go to your other wrestler. Let's talk about Ace and by extension New Era. Um, Obviously, Ace has been kind of creeped out by Void being in the same management circle as him, and he's been pretty vocally against it. But what are we going to see from Ace in season 3? We haven't seen him yet. Obviously, he's a high flyer. He's had a couple chances. He's dropped them, unfortunately, and he's kind of remained on the fringe of the power rankings top 10. I think he's like 16th or 15th right now. He's right there. Couple nice wins to see him elevate himself into the top 10. But what do we see? What are we going to see from Ace going into season 3? What's his game plan?
I mean, from what Ace told me, he's definitely focusing on just trying to get back into the rhythm. He had a lot of like personal problems outside of the SWA during the second season, and it was actually Anne, like his manager. You might have seen her
Yes.
mentioned in some of the promos. Yeah, she's actually his second manager, and to be fair, she actually does more than I do, just because Ace gives her more to do. Uh, yeah, but from what he told me, he is going to try to go for a title opportunity if he can. Other than that, he's just going to make a show as
Of
always.
course.
Just give some good old entertainment.
Do those obviously he's going for a title? Would that include New Era? Would he go for a tag opportunity if it's a belt's a belt, or is it strictly
From
singles?
from from what he told me, both him and Boseman are taking a break
Oh.
in tag. Yeah, they both decided that it would be better if they just split ways for a bit, just so that they can pursue singles
So not
a bit
completely
more.
not completely out of it, but we might not see too much from New Era in season 3.
Yeah, actually, Ace is announced to be in the ringside during episode 37 for the fight between Yasuke and Brian Strong. Yeah, so we will see him, just not in the
Not
ring,
yet. So I imagine,
probably.
I guess we'll have to
Yeah.
wait for the pay-per-view for Ace or something, because he is a true crowd draw and high flyer for the
Yeah,
SWA.
I can tell you, he is definitely getting ready for like his first match of the first season, and yeah, he just can't wait from what I've seen.
And we in the end of season 2, obviously we saw a lot from Ace's camp on him focusing somewhat maybe outside of the SWA. Contrary to his kind of aspirations to go for a title opportunity, he's started a clothing brand. Is that a distraction, or is that kind of part of the grand scheme?
I wouldn't call it a clothing brand, but yes, he definitely focuses more on the outside of the SWA, on his personal life, his personal interests, and yeah, with the outfits, he just decided that he wants to showcase a part of him. So his favorite artists, his favorite characters, his favorite stories, franchises, and whatnot. And yeah, for example, we already saw uh, the the trench costume. So it was in reference to the Trench album from 21 Pilots. But from what I've heard, he's got 3 more ready to go.
Very nice.
Uh, yeah, and he's just waiting for pay-per-views to
Pay-per-views
show
to
them
show
off.
him off. Get him in front of the most
Yeah.
eyes. Are they for sale? Is it kind of like I mean, obviously you said it's not maybe a clothing brand, but is it like, is he going to try to make inspired sales from them?
I mean, honestly, we did think about like taking those designs and making merchandise out of it, but there's a problem with copyright and whatnot, and uh, right now the artists don't really want to cooperate on that
Hmm.
front. Most of them allowed us to promote them, like it's free promotion for them, so dressing up like with their brand, it's okay with them. But of course, when we want to work some more, they just say no.
Right. Well, we've talked a little bit about New Era, but is there you've said that they're kind of take a break. Obviously, that's a needed change, I think. I asked this of Tomato because obviously he has Diego Mercer in Deadfire. Is there an addition that you would want to make to New Era, and if who it is? Well, actually, I'm going to clarify this. Who from the new batch of wrestlers would you add into New Era? The 13
From
rookies.
the new from the 13 rookies, honestly, I could see Jean Baptiste
Jean
in New Era.
Baptiste.
Yeah, he's definitely got like the vibe, I
Right.
guess. Yeah, he's also a high flyer, just like the
Mm-hmm.
Ace, but he also is a hard hitter, just like Bozeman. So he would be like the perfect balance between the two. But while also providing his own unique style and his unique moves. Uh, Besides that, I guess I could also see like one of the bigger guys, maybe the Iranian Juggernaut.
Maybe.
You know, yeah, like he proved himself to be a fierce opponent, and New Era lacks a muscle right now. I mean, Boseman is
Yeah.
great at being a muscle.
Bozeman's
Yeah,
sizable.
he's yeah, Boseman is sizable, but like I mean, like now with the influx of those big wrestlers, I feel like tag teams, especially with the creation of the Fallen Gods, tag teams will have to look for
For
a wrestler that can also withstand other big
right.
wrestlers with
Get a
ease.
little bit of a like a tank situation going on.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
I,
Yeah.
that bodes interesting for some of the smaller tag teams like Barefoot Buddies and Dirty Deeds. Dirty Deeds being one of the best offensive tag teams is not large in size. They are not huge wrestlers. So
Yeah, but Dirty Deeds has the advantage. Like they have DDT, right? So they have a
yeah,
submission
the
specialist.
submission specialist.
Yeah, exactly the submission specialist, and I mean the big guys most of the time aren't really good with
That's true.
submissions. Like I feel like this is the easiest way to take him out. I honestly think that Dirty Deeds will manage just fine against the Fallen Gods and any other big tag teams that might
Well,
emerge.
I guess we'll have to see in the tag division, kind of Sans New Era. Hopefully, Ace and Buzzman can kind of get it back together and show us something towards the end of season 3. But obviously, it sounds like they're on a little bit of a hiatus at the moment. Um,
I mean, if that's what the fans want, they're still a tag
of
team.
course,
Like the
yeah,
tag team
they're
didn't
not
break up.
broken up.
Yeah,
It's not Fears of Mayor where it's irreparably unrepairable. Um,
yeah. I mean, if something like that happened to the new era, yeah, that would be definitely
of
over.
course. Um,
They already had a bit of they already had some cracks during one of their last fights where Boseman didn't help the Ace,
mm,
even though Ace kept helping Boseman throughout the entire match. But from what I've heard, they talked it through and they are good again. So
perfect. I guess my last question on Ace, it's not really of a question, but as a manager, obviously you've probably seen most of Ace's matches, if not all of them. Um, here at Crazy About the SWA, I personally have a favorite moment from the Ace, and I'm wondering if it's the same for you. When Ace took the dive from the Elimination Chamber in Season 1 onto, I believe it was Cervantes.
No, I think it was Savea.
It might have been, but he took the dive off of the Elimination Chamber. That was one of the kind of first crazy moments in the SWA that we had seen, and Ace was the first to show us something like absolutely insane. Are there any favorite moments from Ace's career that you could point us towards, that we could kind of go back and reminisce?
Yeah, I mean the Elimination Chamber thing is definitely my number one as well, because we just haven't seen anything like this since then. I don't think so, at least.
Yeah, no, I don't think we've seen people go through the Elimination Chambers. Obviously, Bozeman had the double spear on Warren Wyndham through the Elimination. That was pretty crazy. But there hasn't been anything high-flying like that. We haven't had like a Hell in a Cell. We haven't had anything off from the top of a ladder.
Yeah. We had some great moves from Diego, like the coast to coast, Marsh and Diego Mercer.
We've seen Starman headbutt the outside of the arena at least a dozen times. We saw in one of the rookie showcases in episode 36, Hagar with his superplex from the top rope to the outside. That was pretty wild.
And also Casey Starr with his DDT between the first and the second rope.
Yeah, that was was also so crazy. We've seen, but like I said, so any other Ace moments, maybe besides the Elimination Chamber?
Yeah, there actually were a couple of. I remember it was what was one of his first opponents? It was God. We had the memorial match for him. What was his name?
Yates.
Yes, Aloysius S. Yates. There was a moment during the inaugural tournament when Yates was just kicking Ace's butt. But then of course Ace
prevailed.
Like Ace prevailed, and he managed to pull out a move that he never pulled out again, and that was a diving codebreaker. And it was a move that literally, like, the ref had to stop the match because Yates just folded in half and just fell on his back, and he just lied there. And the ref had to stop the match. It was an amazing move, and I'm honestly surprised Ace never used it again. Maybe he's holding it out for a special occasion, because as we could see, it's extremely effective.
Especially effective. Yeah. But I guess we'll see. I've forgotten that he had the diving codebreaker in his bag of tools, because as you said, we just haven't seen it since then. Since almost a year ago.
Since the I think that was actually his very first match as well.
Literally almost a year ago. I think we're coming up on March 17th, the Red Letter Day in SWA history here. But yeah, no, I guess look forward to diving codebreakers from Ace at some point in the future. It'll be a big deal.
Yeah. I really hope he uses them again, because like against like big opponents, I think they're especially effective. And that was actually the very first match of the Ace in the SWA when he pulled that move, and then never again.
Never again. He's holding on to it.
Yeah, but also I remember there was another very fun move he did. I think it was in a tag match. It was New Era. I don't remember against who they were fighting, but there was a moment where he just jumped over Bozeman and somebody else to land the moon stomp on another opponent.
I remember that. I think you were facing one of the Quinn pairings.
Yeah, I think so too. And the crazy thing is that Bozeman was actually in the middle of his either signature or finisher as well. Yeah,
I remember this. That was a wild moment. That was a fun one.
That was a very wild moment, and I really enjoyed it.
Well, Nomad, I think we're winding down here. We got a couple things left on the docket. I guess we'll start with episode 37, which has been announced. Let's kind of just run through the basic matches, and I guess maybe get a hot or not take on whether or not this will be a good match or not. So, first match of the night, two of the rookies, the winning rookies from the first triple threat matches of each episode 35 and 36. Zayn Ryder, the Wraith, versus the Body, Raccoon, in a rookies showcase singles match. Who do you got?
I think this is gonna be a great match. Honestly, both those wrestlers showed some good offense in their matches. I honestly think that Zayn Ryder might be the one who comes out victorious in this
See,
one.
I agree with you.
Just
I
just because Rikum seems to be a more opportunistic wrestler.
And he doesn't have the extra offense from any other wrestlers in the ring. It's all going to be on him.
Yeah.
And we saw Zayn Ryder has some stuff to work with. So this will be an interesting one. I'm tentatively putting it the star on Zayn Ryder, but we'll see what the Body comes with. We'll see. We didn't see too much offense from him.
Maybe he'll surprise
Maybe he
us.
will. We didn't obviously see too much from him during his rookie showcase, so maybe he was saving it for the singles action. Next match, Yasuke Bozeman with the Ace ringside versus Flying Brian Strong in a Path to Glory qualifier. Who you got?
Well, I would be a bad manager if I said I think that Brian Strong is going to win. But I honestly think he might have a chance. It would definitely be difficult since, there will be Ace in the ringside. So there's this, unknown if he's going to go into the ring, if he's going to distract the referee. There's a lot that can happen, so it's not that easy to predict this one. But yeah, Yasuke Bozeman is a very strong singles wrestler.
True.
Like, we've seen some amazing offense from him, and I think this will be the match where Brian Strong finally meets his match, and we might see a really just full of action, an amazing match.
Fair enough. For my opinion, I think Brian Strong might have a better shot at this than people are expecting him to, even with the Ace ringside with Yasuke Bozeman. That provides an obvious benefit to Bozeman's camp. But Flying Brian Strong coming off two pretty big wins, pretty emphatic wins. So I'm with you. I think Bozeman with the Ace will lock it up, but if Flying Brian Strong keeps flying strong, he might upset here once again, because he upset on Raj Rajwana. He came in the underdog and clearly was not the underdog. So maybe he'd come in tonight again, or come in on Wednesday night, the underdog once again versus Bozeman, and he might surprise some people. So we'll see.
He definitely has the momentum going.
I think that one's a coin flip. I can't pin a win on that one.
I'm honestly right there with you.
Next one, we have the Iranian Juggernaut versus Alonzo A-Train Howard rookie showcase. Now, I like A-Train. I think he has the vibe. He's having fun. I don't think this will be a good match for him, if I'm honest. We saw him struggle with Hagar, who is 100 pounds lighter than Czar.
Mm-hmm.
I think this one's going to be trouble for Howard, but what say you? Who do you got?
I'm right there with you. Like, A-Train is a great wrestler. Like, the vibe he brings to the ring is just amazing. I hope the the Iranian Juggernaut standing in the ring won't ruin that vibe of his. But I honestly, it's hard for me to see him winning this one, especially since Czar is. Well, he is a juggernaut. Like, there's no other way to put it. He is a juggernaut, and
maybe
and
not
if,
the tallest, but an absolute massive wrestler.
Yeah, and if A-Train isn't careful, if he if he doesn't bring his best, then I don't see a way for him to come out of this one victorious.
I unfortunately agree with you. So we'll see how that one turns out. That one could be real interesting. But survey says Czar over Howard. Next match, fourth match of the night. Paragon versus Dr. Morbius in a Path to Glory qualifier.
I mean, I hope Dr. Morbius has something for the steroids. Otherwise, Paragon might squash him a little bit. But on the other hand, Dr. Morbius has always shown great resiliency.
It's true. Dr. Morbius,
so yeah,
one of our specialist stick-to-it wrestlers. Maybe not the most offensive. He always busts out some sick dance moves too. But certainly up there with Diego Mercer and some of the other longevity wrestlers. So we'll see what Paragon has for Dr. Morbius, I guess.
Yeah. I think it will be similar situation to Yasuka versus Brian Strong. It's really a coin flip.
If I was going to lean one way,
but
the big guy is usually a better bet because I don't think Morbius has many submission style moves. But we have seen, I think we've seen this exact matchup between Morbius and Paragon before in either a Rumble or in some smaller capacity. And I think Morbius showed up.
Definitely in the Rumble. And in the Rumble, if I remember correctly, Morbius actually kicked Paragon's butt.
Think so. He eliminated, but Paragon was new to the SWA at that point. So
he
has had some time to develop against the talent.
Yeah. So, it will be definitely an interesting matchup.
Coin flip. Next match, tag action. Unhinged, Slayton Onyx Stone versus the Quinn Brothers. Storied matchup. The last.
This is the one for the ages, honestly.
Unhinged has come out on the wrong side of this one more often than not.
Yeah, but recently they have been doing really well from what I've seen. And I feel like the momentum is now on their side. Because the Quins... I don't remember last time when I saw Quins win.
It was... the Quinn brothers beat New Era.
Oh yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, okay. I think I just took that out of my mind. Yeah.
New Era defeated Dirty Deeds for their shot at the tag championship, and then dropped their match to the Quinn brothers. But after dropping the match to the Quinn brothers, Dirty Deeds came back and took it from... Oh, wait, no. Am I misremembering this? I think... No, I am. No, I'm not. Okay, so... New Era... Ah, shoot.
Wait, no. New Era took it from them.
New Era took it from...
Then they had a chance to get it back. I think there was a match between Dirty Deeds and Quinn for a shot at a title. And I think Dirty Deeds won that one.
Yes. I think that's how it went.
Yeah.
Anyway, but...
And then they defeated the New Era.
And then the Quinn brothers have kind of been on a slide ever since. But like I said, we've seen Unhinged come out on the wrong side of this matchup multiple times. So I'm inclined to go with the Quinn brothers here. Yeah,
I mean, those two teams definitely have a history, and history likes to repeat itself. So I wouldn't be surprised by a Quinn victory, but I also wouldn't be surprised if Unhinged just dominated the match. Like I said, I feel like they have momentum on their side, and I just feel like if they play their cards right, they might just kind of maybe not squash, but beat down the Quinn brothers and move up.
I would agree. Next match. Warren Wyndham versus Tomio Yamaguchi for a shot at the SWA World Championship belt at Countdown.
Yeah, now this one is very, very interesting. Because like we said earlier, those are our first world champion and our longest running world champion just clashing.
That's right.
Yeah, and I think I really hope Warren Wyndham wins this one so that we can see this matchup again at Countdown. But honestly, with Tomio being such a strong wrestler as he is, it might be difficult for him.
Well, we'll see, because Tomio has had a little bit of a slide. He dropped a match. He dropped a singles match after holding his singles victory streak for so long against some of the best in the SWA. We saw him drop it, even with DDT ringside, against Gorgeous Garrison Gray.
Yeah, you're correct. You're absolutely right. Yeah, I mean, Triple G is a bigger opponent for sure. Warren Wyndham is even bigger. So yeah, Tomio might have some problems with him.
It's true.
But ultimately, I feel like he can pull it off.
All right.
But then again, I really hope that Warren wins.
Yeah,
this one.
well,
So.
I mean, I'm the manager for DDT, and I would really like Tomio to win this one. So I guess we can agree to disagree.
Yeah, I guess.
And then our final match of the night for the Ascent Championship, the SWA Ascent Championship, superstar Bobby Plaster versus the Phoenix, Diego Mercer. Who you got?
Before I even start talking about who I think is gonna win, who do you think is gonna actually appear in the ring? The actual Bobby Plaster or his stunt double?
That's a good point. It could be either of them. Nobody can tell the difference between them. They're like twins.
Yeah.
Perhaps even Bobby Plaster will sit ringside at Bobby Plaster versus Diego Mercer.
God, that would be something else.
That'd be very interesting. But this is the rehash. This is from episode 35. This is the revenge match, I guess, because Deadfire versus the Plaster Blasters, unofficial tag name. Bobby Plaster and Bobby Plaster took that one easily. So maybe this is the Bobby Plaster versus Diego Mercer for the championship belt. Is his way of saying, like, hey, I'm ready for the big time. I'm coming after Deadfire. These Deadfire guys talked a lot of shit on me, and it's undeserved, and I'm going to show them who's boss. So we'll see, I guess, the culmination of Deadfire versus Bobby Plaster, or maybe that'll be a feud that will last the entirety of season 3. We'll see.
Yeah, I honestly think that... I also think that Bobby isn't gonna win. Like we've seen him win the tag match, but notice that it wasn't Mercer who got pinned. It was Eric Draven. Yeah, and also they had the advantage of just confusion and surprise on their side as well. So the Deadfire really had the cards stacked against them in that match, but in this match, where Bobby Plaster will be stepping one-on-one against the Phoenix.
Mm-hmm.
And as we know, the Phoenix just keeps getting up and getting up and getting up.
He's the
There's
Phoenix.
No way to keep him down. Yeah,
he rises the Phoenix from the ashes.
So I honestly think we will see another victory by Diego Mercer in this one. But then again, who knows? Like if Bobby brings his stunt double into the ringside, or maybe stays in the ringside while his body double fights, we may see some upset.
Yeah, we'll see, because this is an excellent smokescreen for Bobby Plaster, because we obviously don't know which one is wrestling, and it's assumed that they wrestle the same style, but they may not. So you don't know. We don't know. So they might perform some smoke and mirrors to get either the usual Bobby Plaster or the stunt double in. But I agree with you. I think Diego Mercer for the win on this one. Bobby has been pretty hot lately, but Diego Mercer is looking to make a push, as he said during his visit on SWA, or Crazy About the SWA, episode 2, where he invaded our Discord call and cut a promo. I think this one's going to Mercer. I agree with you. So that's our episode 37 kind of quick look. And then the last thing on my docket, there have been rumors and speculation that the league is going to move the 2K22 in the near future. What are your thoughts?
I'm honestly excited about the idea. From what I've seen so far, 2K22 has some really good production value. Like there's actual camera work. Everything just looks much nicer. Everything runs much smoother. Like the new cameras really show. The little details in how the wrestlers fight. Also, some new microphones can pick up the actual grunts from the wrestlers themselves, from what I've seen.
Yeah, the production
Like in the
production
ring.
value has increased significantly between the two.
Yeah, so it is a very exciting idea. But on the other hand, that would mean every wrestler in the SWA would have to, get acclimated to the new setting.
It's true.
So there will be a lot of work in the transition bit to K22, and also it would limit some of the managers in helping the production team in running the show, since they would have to get 2K22 to design new looks
Right.
so that the production just can instantly pick them up.
But it's to be said.
So
It's to be said that the new 2K22 probably still has its online servers online and haven't been taken down 8 months after the game has been released. So it's possible to probably share wrestlers and looks directly to
yeah,
the SWA management team.
I mean that would be great. That would be honestly amazing if that would work. Then yeah, I think SWA should start thinking about moving to 2K22.
Because I've heard good things. I've heard very good things.
Yeah, same. Honestly, same.
Well, we've talked about it all. We talked about episode 36. We talked about Void. We talked about Nomad Breakdowns. We talked about the Ace and New Era. We talked about what's coming up in episode 37, and we just finally wrapped up with a possible move to 2K22 for the SWA. Nomad. Anything else you wanna mention or bring up or?
First of all, I want to thank you for having me here. It's been a blast, talking about SWA. Since I'm myself crazy about SWA.
I like that joke.
Yeah. But I really enjoyed my time here, and I really hope to see some more great shows from the SWA. You know what I would also like to see?
What would you like to see?
I would really like to see Sangress's manager here on Crazy About the SWA.
We'll see if we can get it together. He's notoriously elusive to get a hold of. So we'll see if we can get the manager for Sangress onto Crazy About the SWA, but I won't hold my breath. I know we have a couple more guests lined up here next week.
Care to share?
I will keep it a trade secret who is on my docket.
Understandable. I got the stars, you got the guests. Okay.
But I do have a couple guests lined up in the near future, so we'll see what comes from them. Obviously, episode 37 is right around the corner, and we will have a new podcast next week breaking down episode 37. Obviously, I guess we'll have another episode or another article from Nomad Breakdowns breaking down episode 37 when that comes out.
You just wait for it.
I'll just have to wait for it, I guess. Or perhaps I'll wait for it and then use your information for my podcast breakdown. No, I wouldn't do that. Or would I?
I mean, you can if you want.
It's
Why
fine.
not?
I'll do my own work. Because
I mean, I did actually take some information from your podcast when working on episode 35.
Oh well,
so
hey, there we go.
yeah, it's a source, right?
It works.
It's
It's a source. Well, thanks, Nomad. Thanks for coming on. Thanks for having a blast.
Yeah. Thanks again for having me, and I hope that the next guest will have as big of a blast as I had.
I'm sure they will. So once again, Crazy About the SWA podcast, episode 4 in the books. I'm your host, Crazy Ralf, and Nomad, send him home.
Stay cool, everybody, and remember to tune in live to SWA.
All right. Have a good one, folks.